Hey guys, what is going on? It is Alexander Williamson here with The Secret History Living Inside Your Aquarium. How's it going? First of all, I want to thank you guys a ton for all of the love lately. Two videos got over 10,000 views, which for my channel is very respectable. And that's, hold on, let me turn off my sound, sorry. Uh, Not that it is fish related. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I had to turn the sound off on the camera. But yeah, so two videos went, I guess, got very popular for my channel. 10,000 views in 2 days each, and so thank you. That was awesome. That actually, with those numbers, instead of 1 to 3,000 in a video, it actually starts to add up. I think each video, like with the one with 12,000 views, the Nano tank for profit, that one ended up netting me in ad money. I mean, I haven't paid taxes on it, but $14, which that's not bad. I mean, especially if that could be a theme. So thank you for those of you who are watching. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the projects I'm working on, breeding things, and just kind of like, I don't know, I'm a bit in a funk about what I want to do with the quote unquote fish room. Uh, we have guests coming over this weekend, which will be great to see some friends from out of town. We're having in Seattle, they have a big naked parade. You heard me right. It's a naked bicycle parade and body painting, and there's usually 50 to 100,000 people involved. So, we have some friends coming in from out of town, staying in the fish room. So I hope they like fish. I haven't really asked, but they're laid back people. I guess they're gonna find out what weirdos I am. But if they, I don't know, do they have room to call me a weirdo if they're the one going to ride bikes naked around town? To each their own. I think that's great. I actually did it when I was 18, growing up here in Seattle. I think it's like a rite of passage when you grow up here to do the body paint bike ride thing. So, about fish, let me show you something cool, something real cool. Uh, right here, there's not best light right this second. Let's get some light. Right here, we have angelfish eggs. Yay! And you can see the notochord or spinal cord little blob with a yolk sac forming and little black dots that are going to be eyes. Right now, they're just photoreceptors. There are 3 molding eggs. You can see the white ones. The mother will take care of that. She tends to them. Actually, the father's taking care of them at the moment. I cut that leaf in half, and I'm going to show you guys in a moment what I'm doing with the other half of the eggs. I probably should just leave them and let them hatch in here and then like scoop them out and then put them somewhere else. But I'm exploring and trying out ways of breeding fish in small spaces with limited means of equipment and stuff like that. So I'm trying out a bunch of different methods. I don't really have a production method type level or like a production line way to breed fish as far as for profit. I just have, 8 big community tanks and then, a number of nano tanks. And each one kind of independently functions as a breeding tank. Like here, we've got endlers that are gonna obviously reproduce now that they're there. I do not see mother angelfish, which is super odd. I'm a little worried actually. She hasn't left the nest since she laid the eggs, and she was kind of tired and run down looking after she laid those eggs. So let's keep an eye out for her. But in this tank right now, I kind of need to make a choice of what it's going to be. See, the father's still flapping with his pectoral uh, fins. He's flapping to try to keep oxygen over there on the eggs. The mother is the one who seems to do more curating of the eggs and actually like picks out the ones that have fungi and that sort of thing. Also going on, I thought I'd show you from aquaticarts.com, one of the channel sponsors. You can see the difference between a reed tetra, which will school with Corydora hebrosus, and then the kitty tetras. So the kitty tetras actually have um, this really cool little coloration of yellow and red, and then a black on the tail, and then kind of an orange and yellow that's coming out more and more every day, like a peachy color uh, that I'm starting to see in their body. And then under that is silver. So I really am enjoying them. Also, the other ones that have gotten really shy and I'm a little worried about, I might put them in another tank, are the brilliant, they're called brilliant neon tetras. And what they are is they're not quite albino, but they have some form of pigmentation issue. Sometimes they're called blonde tetras or yellow neon tetras or gold neon tetras. But they are, if we can get a picture of them, see, there's one right there. And some of them are either hiding really well or may have fallen prey to the cribs. The cribs have not taken well to this, even though they're young still. They've not taken friendly to all these little critters showing up, all the new guys hanging out low. The neon, the blue neons, as you can see, are they've been established. They're bright. They're quick. The other ones, the brilliant neons, I had 12 of them in here, and now, I'm seeing like there's two right there. They might just be in this really thick tangle of stuff, but, I don't know. I feel like I should see more than that with 12. Also, now I'm really worried about the female angelfish. Where in the heck is she? Um, I would be very, very sad if I find her passed away. Um, However, this tank, as I said, my apartment has gotten very warm as of recently, and so I had to put some chillers and stuff, set up fans. And actually, what I did is one little trick is if it just gets too hot, what you can do is, other than ice cubes or something, is you can put your filter, like take a block of wood and a clamp, and you can just put your filter up higher so that it's more of a waterfall and you're getting that splashing and aeration and all that. I am not seeing her. If she jumped, I'm gonna be really sad because she was trying to jump a few times. Man, where is she? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sidetracked on where the heck the female is, because it's not like her to stray from her babies. And yeah, I don't have a good feeling about this, guys. Unless she's hiding somewhere right obvious that I'm missing. But she's a big fish. I mean, she's a little smaller than him. And I don't know how she could just disappear. I mean, her body even should be very large and would trigger a large ammonia spike. So even though I have the catfish and the plants and everything, just a heads up, if I had something as big as an angelfish die in a tank, it would be very noticeable to the chemistry of a 40-gallon bow front. Yeah, there's actually more of the brilliant tetras. Aquaticarts.com, all the links are below. If you guys are interested in any of these tetras and stuff. Also, they have a really good sale going on the rest of this week where I think it's 25% off all livestock, which is better than any sale they've hooked up with me in. It's just they're clearing out kind of spring cleaning. And so if you go there and check that out, just let them know. Use their code. Use whatever code's the cheapest, guys. Like, hook it up for yourselves. But let them know that you talked to me, or that you learned of them through my channel, and then we can enter you into the drawings in the coming weeks, which I think I'll officially launch on Friday. We're gonna have the promo with all the details, and I'll be giving away free shipping to Aquatic Arts. I'll be giving away all sorts of good free stuff, gift cards, 20 I think it is, blue dream shrimp. um awesome. Alana Tsuki, thank you so much for using the code. I appreciate that. Whenever you guys use the code, here's the incentive for you guys to use the code also beyond the percent you get off right off the bat, is that you guys actually then the money will get 8% of that profit I have talked them into. And instead of just paying me a profit chunk of like 4% or whatever it may be, they actually put that back into, well, I mean, they pay me. They put that into a fund, and then we actually are able to take that money and like that's how we're going to do some of the free shipping and stuff like that. So it should be a really cool way to um, give back a little bit, rather than me just trying to make purely money. Like, I want you guys to get something back so then I can give away other things of my own. Wow, I'm really failing at life this second right now. I just dropped the scissors in. I don't know where my female angel is, and this is getting very worrisome, guys. I'm gonna be real bummed if she's gone, because you know, where does she go in a tank this size? I guess I can just feed them, and that will. I've torn tanks before for dumber reasons. I should say that though. I've definitely torn a tank just apart in every way, only to find the fish I was looking for just dumbly staring at me the next day for some reason or whatever. So, all right, let's see who's in the chat, guys. How are we doing? Tilapia Store, what up, Daryl? Aquaballs, nice. Yeah, good to see y'all. Also, you can see this AR, Alternanthera renekii, is growing really well in this tank. I've had CO2 running on this tank for a while. Wait, which one's this? Is this still the male? That's still the male. Oh no, I knocked over his eggs. I'm so sorry, buddy. Let's try to get your eggs back up where they were. So see, guys, there's the eggs. And we'll try to just keep that upright up over there. So I am going to call it, and I'm really sad. The female must be dead because she would not tolerate me moving her eggs like that. See, he doesn't tolerate anyone over there. Man, that is such a bummer, guys. And the other real bummer about this is that the eggs, or the last female I had of a different kind of angelfish, the female died after giving birth also. I guess it's just too taxing for them to stay up, you know, nonstop or whatever. That, or I'm really missing the boat here, and she clear jumped out of the tank somewhere. But I don't think she was able to do that with the way things were set up. Well, I don't want to take up your time with that. Hopefully from those eggs I can raise new ones. I don't know. Man, that's a bummer. This morning she was just taking care of them. So, I don't know. I'll feed them while we're standing here. So, I'm going to show you guys a couple of my little breeding projects. And I don't know. Is there anything you guys want to talk about in particular? Feel free to ask questions about your own troubleshooting, problems, ideas, comments. You know, another thing I'm thinking about making a video on, and I don't know if anybody's interested or not, but I might just make it regardless of that, just because I'm interested in it, would be the impact of the tariffs, the 20% tariff right now coming from China, and how that is going to affect goods that we get from China in the hobby. I made a video about that a while back, and everybody, whether they were liberal or Democrat, took a side and went nuts. It was very, very, uh, it was kind of disheartening, guys. Like, because it wasn't about like uh, partisanism. It was obviously I have my own feelings about things, but it was just the sheer fact that tariff and oil price things like that impact our hobby and what to expect. And if you were going to buy a tank, those are mostly U.S. built or Japanese built, so that's okay. But all these filters, pumps, a lot of these LEDs and things, those are from China, and it would have been a good time to stock up when I had made that video. So that's what I was trying to say, and that all the things we do uh, politically come back around, as a nation, and do have an impact even in our little hobbies. Going on in here, I figured I would let this guy go. This tank, I'm letting it go uh, because this will be replaced, hopefully, almost for sure, with a 90p. Eventually going on in here, aquascape. But you can see a lot of the blue shrimp in here doing well, my A grades. So shrimp are pretty straightforward. I have a lot of videos on breeding them, but I have been kind of just debating like, all right, guys, what is the most profitable and fun and easy fish to be growing for profit in a small tank, like under 20 gallons? And like where you can keep some and you can sell some, and maybe every month or two you can make enough money to kind of pay for your fish or to set up another tank. Because I want to remind you guys that when I started this channel, I had just set back up into the hobby. Before this channel, I had 3 tanks of various nano fish, and then basically 3 strains um, of endlers that I was taking care of. And before that, for years, it's been a 22-year off and on love affair with fish, and then moving places where I can't have it, whatever. So, but I wanted to let you guys know that I started with 1 tank here, sold the shrimp and plants out of it. Then I got that tank over there, did the same thing. For at one point we had 2 more tanks over there, and then we did the same thing with different rainbow fish. Actually, were one that I love and that maybe we'll do again. But right now, I've got my money on these guys that I just picked up that I think are really fun. The koi fish. Let's get the light right off them. Also, I'm growing out Boos and Homolomena Sedeku South, which turns this nice bronzy color, kind of like a Bucephalandra. I think that for the bang for your buck, I think a lot of these plants, they grow slow, but why not, if you can, get little pieces of them and constantly break them. And the thing about this is making profit, or at least making a sustainable hobby out of and side business out of your love for the hobby. It's about patience, because I could easily harvest these shrimp right now, but I gave out, or I sold or gave away 100 shrimp in the last month. And so even though like we've got a pregnant one right here, they're gonna grow up. Fish are gonna eat probably in this tank probably 80% of her young, and so on and so forth. But you know, you gotta wait and pull that trigger once you have 60 shrimp or 100 shrimp, and then you sell 20 shrimp or 10 shrimp. Like, you don't want to have 30 shrimp and sell 15. You're going to set yourself back months. And same with plants. Get yourself like this rotala here. I just got red root floaters for summer because I want to start growing these out again and actually start selling them. They're just so beautiful, red root floaters. I love them. And it's just funny here, these shrimp. These are the Malawa shrimp, and then these are the blue Neocaridina shrimp. It sounds as though we have a visitor, and the only person who shows up at my house randomly like this is Ben Chester, aka Shirtless Ben. I'm doing a live stream, sir.
Hey,
welcome.
It's pretty hot. Maybe I'll take my shirt off.
Yeah, it is hot. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. That's why you don't answer it.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna go to the fish room. Okay, guys, so shirtless Ben is here, as you know, as a visitor. So you're wondering what may have happened to the other half of my angelfish eggs? Well, they are in methylene blue, which is a cheap chemical. It's maybe, I don't know, 5 to 15 bucks, depending on the size of the bottle. This bottle was $6.99. I put a toothpick in and 2 drops of that in, and I've got eggs in here kind of tumbling. And actually, they bunched up in the corner since this morning. But let me get these moving again. And and here we go. And this will stop them from turning into fungi. However, as soon as the young hatch, you really want to get the eggs out of the methylene blue because, oh boy, I'm just causing problems today. Because it's actually harmful to fish. It's not like a happy chemical. It's like Listerine, except not that harsh. This is actually like shreds of paper that fell in there, of a paper towel that fell in there, so I'm not worried about it. But these eggs are aging at the same rate. I see little eyes forming on some of them. Some clearly were not viable, like this darker one in here. Let's try to get this to focus.
I see.
There's some dark patches in here where you just know those eggs weren't going to make it anyways. But in any case, they've got a little heater and they've got an air stone in there. Let me take a look. I know some more of you guys have been commenting, and I feel as though I've neglected my my people. Let's see here. Yeah, Chattanooga Ed, you made the live stream. Right on. Lydia Laub, hello. Fish lover, hey all. Use a glass stirring rod. Science move plants around the tank. Oh yeah. Hey, from Belfast, Ireland. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Glad you could join us. I need to get out there someday. Get out to Glasgow and Dublin and all them northern island regions of the UK and the independent Ireland. I guess that's southern Ireland. So in any case, Cape Breton in Nova Scotia. Nice to see you joining. Tetra Keeper, hello. And water lettuce, white film on their roots. Any idea why? I don't know. It could be something like this. Like in my water, I just get mold. It's called water rot or water mold, and it just happens. It's just a fungi made from tannins and other things in the plants. If it's not causing problems, maybe I wouldn't worry about it that much. But I guess it could be some sort of protein film too. If you've got a film on the roots of your water lettuce, up here, a lot of tanks get this shimmer that looks like rainbow gasoline on top. None of my tanks have that, just because of how I keep my tanks. I try to avoid that at all costs, and so that's what's up. New Jersey representing. Daniel keeping fish. Right on. How's it going, buddy? UG Aquatics, what's up? What species of boost do I have? You're selling small pieces of Brownie Ghost 2011 on eBay. And by the way, here is one of those neorites, and Color Live sucks, but here's one of those, not neorites, Nemo koi bettas in the community tank, and he's chilling. He's the less colorful of the two. Just chilling. Now, another bummer thing, while we're on the topic of messed up fish, here is a fish with some sort of cancer. He's got since he was born, he's had this little bulb on him, and I've been kind of worried about it. I thought maybe at first it would go away, grow out of it, it was some sort of deformation, but now I think this pleco definitely is sick compared to a healthy pleco's tummy. But yeah, he's just got this big, like, when you look at it with not a microscope, but with a lens, a magnifying glass, you can see that it's like a cancerous growth or a, like, blister type looking thing. Also, when you're thinking of what to breed, in your tanks in a community tank. So if we're let's just talk about, so today mostly what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about when you set up a 40-gallon tank and you lay nothing down on it and you put one thing for every, like one spawning mop for everyone to use. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my system, which is we have nano tanks and tanks, and we have communities that function as fully functional community tanks. By the way, I'm cleaning up this room. Finally, everything's almost organized. And I just take 2 out at a time, throw them in a shrimp tank. They'll eat a couple shrimp in the few days they're in there, but that's live food for them to get their love, happiness on. And then I'll put the babies back in here once they grow large enough. So right now we've got a layer of algae up here just because there's 2 lights going on and natural light coming in. Not too worried about it. These Danios love that kind of, as long as the water's moving on both ends, they seem to love just this thick maze of stuff. But these are a great choice, these pseudomagills, to raise if you're trying to make money with a nano tank. Because in a 10 to 20 gallon tank, you can toss these guys in and they're just beautiful. These guys are pseudomagill luminatus, or Pascals is what they used to be called, Pascal's rainbow fish. And they are from, I think these ones are from Papua New Guinea. Some are from Australia. And then I also have Aru2s, which are another kind of rainbow fish that are in here. The males are in here anyhow, chilling somewhere. And I'll take those 2 out and I'll put them in a tank, and they literally spawn eggs every single day. The female will lay an egg a day. That's just how she rolls. And so then those end up over here. Let me turn the lights on. I don't quite know why my... There we go. I was like, I don't know why my lights aren't on anyways yet. In here. And let's see here. So where are the little angel? Okay, they're there. So here are the little Pascal, or Pascal, sorry. Blue eyes is another word for them. There's a bunch that are great to raise. These are bringing in 10 to 20 bucks a pop right now. And so that's a great one. Also, these panda loaches, very hard to breed, but when you do breed them, they bring in a lot of money also. Up to 30 bucks a pop. So pretty crazy. Now, there's something worth noting going on in my fish room right now too, which is that something is awry with my water from the city. I need to get a printout, and if you're in a municipality like a city, you can almost always ask them to print out a water at your house, like what's in it type thing. And it will give you they call it an assay, an analysis of what's in it. And some sort of metal or chlorine or something, probably not chlorine because I have dechlorinators, but something has actually killed quite a few shrimp now. It's killed at least a dozen shrimp in all my tanks during water changes. And it's also caused these shrimp to lose their coloring and go back to their default stress colors. The short nose Japanese algae eating shrimp. And it's kind of made some of my Neocaradinas look a little stressed also, lighter than they should look. So that happens in this hobby, unfortunately, and it's just something to keep an eye out for. Also, Corridora is another easy one to breed, feed, and see what they're up to. Crawfish, easy to breed. You can usually go find those locally. Tetras, I would say they're more work. Live bears are great. One thing that I think everybody should breed, who's thinking about breeding something new that they haven't bred before. And by the way, this is all low tech. And look how nice that Cabamba furcata. That's not a common plant. It's an easy plant to grow. It comes from South America. and it's beautiful. I love that plant. But yeah, so I would suggest any newcomers to breeding fish to check out Goody Ads and live bearers from central Mexico. There's a host of rare fish that people will pay money for, uh, that are, easy to raise essentially, but that are in need of saving because their numbers have been dipping. And also, they're just really cool fish. They're live bearers that have really cool attributes and behaviors and markings. Like some of the, uh, let's see here. Reading, talk a bit about Scarlet Batis. I have a pair from Times Pond. All's good. Let's see here. Your gold rings made me. Oh yeah, gold rings. Absolutely one of my favorite things to breed, other than bens. I have like a colony of bens living in my house too.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
Awesome. I'm one of them.
Yeah, you're one of them. You're the king. So in here, you'll see. I hope you'll see. Oh gosh, maybe I should have looked at my tanks a little bit more before I just popped on live stream and started talking, because we may have some water quality crisis. Okay, no, we don't. I actually see the tin winnies hanging out back here. Wake up, you guys. Come join the show. All right, so in here we have hatchet Danios. They've got that purple stripe down their side, and they look like a baby salmon. They're really kind of cool. They're orange and purple. That one. And then here we have Panthera Danios, which have stripes on their back rump, and then polka dots by their body, bronze spine, and very, very metallic purple when they're healthy and happy. They're very easy to breed. All you need to do is take 2 adults, you put them in a dim tank, you feed them lots of fresh food, so whether that's grindle worms or mosquito larvae or white worms or whatever, baby brine shrimp.
Stop it, you're making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm making Ben hungry over here. Whatever it is, you feed them that. Look at that humpback and the hook nose of the hatchet. I mean, that's why they call them hatchet Danios. But they're a nice orange color with purple diamonds on their side. And then the Tin Winnie Danios, these guys with the dots all over their side, they're another great fish that I love. Right back there. They're probably the smallest Danio other than Erythromicron, which are called Emerald Dwarf Rasboras, but they're a Danio. And then also we've got CPDs, or Celestial Pearl Danios. And between the 3 of those, man, I would love to have a tank this size just filled with CPDs, Emerald Dwarf Rasboras, and Erythromicrons. But they tend to be a bit shy. So, but I mean, all those fish, if you can sell them person to person, I would totally advocate raising them. So you say you raise, each mother can lay eggs, about 30 to 40 eggs will probably mature if you do it right. I mean, they lay like 200 eggs oftentimes, but let's just be on the conservative side. Say 20 to 40 each time. And every 2 weeks you can get that, and then it's just your time for several months raising them and having a grow-out tank or pond to raise them in. Then CPDs are going for $6 to $8 locally in Seattle, usually like $5.99 to $6.99 or something plus tax. So I mean, that adds up. If you could sell, even just cut the stores out of it, sell 6 of them for $40 or something like that, or I mean 8 of them for $40, $5 a pop, and sell one of those schools every so often. That's that school of 24 or whatever, maybe from one couple, could end up making you $40 times 3 times every month if you pace it out. Then I've got Kyathit Danios in here, the darker dotted ones. And then up here, these real quick ones, these are Maytangensis Danios. Hard to find. probably won't find those. The Wet Spot, I believe, is the only place that sells those that I've ever seen online. But I just have a thing for endangered and rare Danios, even though they look very, very similar. My heart has a soft spot for them. They're from Myanmar, along with the Pandagaras, along with a lot of stuff in here. Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia, and they're just a fun fish, an active fish. They will eat shrimp pretty quickly, but I'll show you up here. This tank is a test ground at the moment, in that I have baby convict cichlids, 2 pufferfish, and 2 adult Kyathit Danios. Where are they? See, there. Oh, no, never mind. They're not Kyathit Danio. That's actually a great picture right there of the Panthera. So this is the sometimes purple Danio, but Panthera Danio. Danio Pantheri. And you can see the stripes. It's got nice purple, blue, and then it's kind of a bronze. Sometimes its fins will get a nice mahogany to like reddish color in them that you can only see in certain lights. But there's a pair of those and neon shrimp, Neocaridina, that are breeding. Same deal with up here. I've got some fish in this netted area that are going to go outside into the pond soon. But these shrimp seem to be doing fairly well up here. See this? This is some planaria, so I probably overfed. But more than likely, see, there's some babies that are coming along, which is just great. And then the adults, which always have incredible color. So yeah, if you need a lot of these fish I've gotten from aquaticarts.com, there's a 15% discount, or right now 25% off all their live fish. And just write in the comments or send them an email to Preston, their public relations guy, that you heard about their shop from me, or in the future use the 15% off code, and that will get you all the money you spend. 8% of the profit they make off that money is getting re-entered into the giveaway we're doing, which will probably roll out at the end of the week after their sale ends. So then we'll be giving away a whole colony of these Blue Dream shrimp, or $160 value, I think. And then we'll be doing free shipping, I think, to maybe 15 people, which is huge. I mean, overnight shipping of fragile living animals is $40 to $80, depending on if you live in Alaska or something. So that part of the giveaway this year is only because of you guys, because of how much you guys have shopped at Aquatic Arts in the last 6 months since the Christmas giveaway we did. So it's been fun to work with them, and it's where I like to get a lot of my breeding stock, because they buy fish from local breeders. They still import from all over the world, and they guarantee that all their shrimp are completely disease-free, which most, if not all, places will not guarantee for the duration of that shrimp's lifetime. There will not be some sort of fungus or whatever disease on it. Nobody else says that they can do that. I mean, I wouldn't put that up, just because you never know what a shrimp has. But yeah, they do that, and they have really high integrity as far as customer service goes. These guys I got to figure out what I'm going to do with. They'll be pairing off soon. There's only 5 of them, but they will be pairing off soon, these cichlids. And so I got to figure out that. I might free up one of these tanks, and when I get the 90p, which is essentially Shirtless Ben has appeared! If only Bob Kaler was here to enjoy this moment. He's the one who always gives you crap about it.
It's hot in Seattle.
It is.
It was
really,
actually supposed to be cloudy all day, and I was working outside for most of it.
It was raining this morning when I left to go to the doctor, and now it's sunny out, and it's humid as hell in this room. Yeah. Because of all the fish, humid. Too. And then I've organized my fish room a little bit differently. Hopefully a 90p will either go here or upstairs. The one upstairs, the pink tank, with all the Samfongzi rasboras and stuff. Hopefully that'll be coming down here. And then here we've got a shelf of all my testers and slides for my microscope, measuring instruments. And then in here is backup bags, heaters, just like backups, extras of things. In here is all my breeding gear. So I've got this. This isn't mine, babe. Wait, what's the line?
I swear, babe, it's not mine.
Yeah, I swear, babe, it's not mine. One Swedish penis pump. Sorry,
No.
guys. I'll probably get demonetized for that. And
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
something's going on with the lens of this camera
So
because...
what is this? Now you have to explain it.
Okay, so this, you put an air stone. This is doing kind of what I've got this doing. So this just keeps those little eggs tumbling around. But if I had more and if they wouldn't fall through here, like rainbow fish eggs will fall through here. Definitely Tetra and Danio eggs will fall through here. But I think we just lost the... Okay, we're back. Okay, so I think we got kicked off maybe because I got demonetized and it reset the stream. But let's finish this up. Let's take it home. Take it on home. And if you guys have questions, you can put them in the comment section. Modern Mark, how's it going? Richard Bunt, hello. Whoa, this is a different list of viewers than the one before. I don't understand you, YouTube. Any case, this is not a Swedish pump. This is a fry percolator, and it will cook your fry at just the right interval, so none of it burns and none of it's undercooked. No, it's an incubator egg tumbler. You put a stone in here, an air stone, and it sucks air and water. Well, it sucks water through hydraulic and capillary action, sucks it up through here, and your eggs stay in this chamber in between these two grates, and this thing unscrews, and it just causes the eggs to spin around in here. So for some species, like some bigger rainbow fish, it will actually take like 15 or 20 days to get an egg to mature, whereas most fish it's like 2 to 5, and you could put something in here for 3 to 5 days. But if it's a 2-day thing, I usually just cut the eggs off of... I either gently remove them off the glass if they're Corydoras, or if they're angelfish or something, I cut the leaf off that they laid them on, and I'll just toss it in some methylene blue if I'm worried about fungi. If I'm not worried about the fungi, then I'll just kind of let them be in a tank without fish to bug them. Or snails. Snails are the main thing. They're, might as well use the angelfish as protection against their babies being eaten right up until they hatch, and then you snatch them away. Leave them a few to play with, the parents, but then get them out of there. Down here we've got the medical drawer. I've got salts, Ic-X, stress coat, even though I don't really like using that much anymore. Little pine cones, alder leaves, and then all the API general cure, fungus cure. Furin-2, this is for gram-negative stuff. Some charcoal filters. I don't run any of my tanks with charcoal filter pads in them. I customize all my own tank or all my own filters, so they're more like a biological filter in that they've got batting or polyester batting in here, and then they've got a bag full of bioactive rings, and then a lot of times they'll actually have mulm in here, and even I'll allow things to grow in there, like whatever, pothos or water sprite or something to be growing in the back of it to suck even more nitrates out. What was I gonna say? The crypt tank's doing well. These are all slow growers, not great for profit, but as I was saying, this stuff, very hard to find. If you can find a stem plant that is expensive and doesn't require a whole lot of care, I know that's kind of an oxymoron. It's not expensive if it's easy to grow and doesn't require a ton of care. But if you can, find something that's just unusual. Find it online. Find Kabamba furcata. You probably won't find that. The AR Mini that I got at the auction, let's go upstairs again, is upstairs, and it's growing in the pink tank, which hopefully will end up downstairs. Also, I have water lilies growing outside. I have a bunch of stuff going, but all the AR mini is planted along here. And then there's more hiding back down in here in a little cleared out area. This tank needs obviously the algae cleaned out of it, but right now I'm just letting it vibe because the shrimp have been having a lot of babies. And so I'm happy with that. But these guys were expensive. If you can find Tucano Tetras or one of the odd Rasboras that is used in aquascaping and type things. Oh, cool. My red root floaters may actually send up some sort of little flower or nodules. Another thing most people don't know about red root floaters is that you can put them in a terrarium or on land, half in the water, whatever you want to do. And actually, so by the way, this was potassium and micronutrients, and then this is uh, all sorts of minerals and trace elements. And then here is iron. And we want the nitrates low in this tank if you want red from these guys, but you want the iron at a level that is, what shall we say, adequate? I don't know what to say. That's too much iron for this little tank, but this is like a dilute iron mix. All my favorite little nano tanks that you can buy as a pre-made setup, they're already in the links below. So if you want, you can check those out and find that. I'm sad. I know that the mother is gone now. I just know she would have showed up. I have to find her body. I'll do that after the live stream, but I'm just really bummed. What's up, Alexander? Tim here in Northeast Florida, getting ready to set up the backyard pool, the pond. Was just curious what plants would be a good start with. Okay, so say that you are in Florida. Ben, if you were in Florida, what kind of plants would you put in your pond? Oh man, that was dumb.
Florida, and I don't have a pond. What would I do? I don't know. I mean, maybe some lily pads. What works?
That would be exactly what we would do. So I think lily pads are a great choice. My favorite of all are Nymphea micrantha, and pardon the algae. It looks like it's just reached it's just becoming a man. This this lily, it has hair down there. But this Nymphea micrantha is a great lily. It's really beautiful. It's got a metallic sheen. It is, wow. It's so delicate, you'll rip it off right away. I'm not going to fiddle with this other one too much, but you can see that there's a really nice sheen on that. Also, the red tiger lilies are nice. One of the other things that is good that you can use is stem plants, because a lot of these rotalas and things like that grow way too fast, especially when exposed to natural sunlight outside. I mean, they'll grow like crazy. And here's one I've let grow out of the tank, and this is a Hygrophila polysperma, which isn't legal in my state to buy or sell, but you can have it. It occurs here. It's now invasive, but you just can't buy or sell it. But yeah, these little racks are nice. I got these from Han Aquatics. He's got a good deal going, and also Aquatic Arts has a crazy sale going on any of their lilies that are left or lotuses. So I have old videos, by the way, on breeding all the nanofish I mentioned. So go to my channel and just search for those, like the CPDs, the shrimp. There's a ton of videos. The panda, panda loaches, the panda corridoras, the angelfish, all that stuff. I have talked about breeding live bears a ton, and tips and tricks and things like that. The Batis, I have shown a lot of that. Right now, most of them are at a small size. They're not like super big or super, I mean, they never get super big. They're not adult, but they're not super teeny. And so they went into the big tank and have since ceased to exist as far as being able to be found easily, except during feeding time. This is my favorite. I said I wasn't going to keep it in here. but it's actually really happy and chill in this tank. I can tell, like, it's just colored up beautifully in the hour that I left it in here after the last video it was in. And I wish you guys could see what I'm seeing, but it's got this milky blue purplish color on it. And then it's just got perfect bright yellow rays, crimson red, and then it looks like a koi from the top. So it looks like a koi fish. It's got white, and that's kind of like a purple splotch, and yeah. So he's a beautiful boy. Bettas are another one I've put a video out about breeding. I want to find a female Nemo koi betta, but I can't find them anywhere. So I'll have to do some hunting elsewhere to get that going. And here I actually have a bag of moss balls I need to put out. And then I also have a bag of lilies from Aquatic Arts that I have yet to put indoors. The outdoor ones are out. So for ponds, another just absolutely great plant is Bulbitis, because it can grow over the years. It's a slow grower, but it will grow up out of the pond, and it can grow into this really beautiful fern that has this kind of texture and then looks like a normal fern out of water. Madagascar lace plants are a great pond plant, although I would put those in a pot or some sort of container because bulbs tend to get chewed on by slugs, and if you have any koi or goldfish, they're gonna munch on those too. So if it kind of depends what fish you have. If you have goldfish, they just love munching on anything tender that you have. Corkscrew valve, this is an incredibly great plant to put in a pond. It turns this beautiful red color when it breaks off or when it's getting ready to split. If you can see that red bronze right down in there. It's like a metallic, almost, I don't know, it looks like boiled hard candy from the turn of the century. But that's a great option. These Taiwanese Nymphea Taiwanese dwarf lilies, I think they're called. Another great choice. Ludwigia repens or super red Ludwigia is another great one. Java ferns work well. When you're down in Florida, sky's the limit with the plants you can use. But it's just kind of get more bang for your buck with the ones that grow big, tall, colorful. These rotalas you can plant, and they'll, have nice color in them. And some of the hygrophilas have nice color that grows in them, and they'll come right out of the water. They're not as colorful out of the water, but that's one thing. Ben's eating the last of my peanut butter and jelly. Thanks for... Oh, he did. I've gone from anger to delight.
Joy.
Joy.
You've had a long day. You said you went to the doctor. I know that's kind of the ways for you.
Yeah. It was a long trip.
Driving anywhere from the city is a pain.
Also, trying out some new plants that I haven't grown before. Found these outside. This is a limnophilia. It's gone to flower already, which is interesting. And then over here we have the little shrimp tank with no pumps, no aeration, nada. And you know how I refill it with water right now? This is like mean almost. I just do this. This is how I add water as it evaporates. And this tank has been here now for, I think, 3 months. And I don't use dechlor. It's just a brutal experiment on Neocaridina shrimp. It's really not that brutal. I knew how it would go. And they're doing great. They're doing absolutely fine. Anubias is doing great. There is active soil. There's a link to that in the description. If you click on the links in the description to any of the stuff on Amazon that I have, I actually get like 1 to 4% of that towards the channel. So that really helps me out. If you guys find anything you like, or you were gonna buy some aqua soil or plants or whatnot anyways, check through the description and see if there's anything you dig. That way you just buy what you were gonna buy. And I've looked for small time vendors using Amazon, so like a local fish store in my area, for instance, that just happens to sell... Oh, wow, I spilled water everywhere. That I just happen to... it'll evaporate soon, it's hot.
I'm not worried about it.
But I've put a lot of thought into trying to find stuff that's not just from Amazon offerings or whatever. It's from mom and pop shops that are selling it on Amazon. And because of that, hopefully we can still support them, me, you get what you want for the cheapest price. And then please just continue to shop at your mom and pop local fish stores too. Things like Aquatic Arts are great for hard to find rare nano fish, and just their crayfish and their shrimp selection is freaking insane right now. And it's 25% off. As I said, for letting you know about Aquatic Arts sale, please just mention my name. Say that you heard about it from me. That's all I ask. Let's see if there's any questions because I do have to go. I've been giving the angelfish pure oxygen? Yeah, well, not pure oxygen. I've been giving them air, which is 40% oxygen, and the rest is like nitrogen and a few other things.
A little bit of CO2.
A little bit of CO2, a little bit of phosphorus, a little bit. Okay, it's mad hot in Seattle. Yeah, it was 95 here last week, and then it dumped again. Amy, don't worry about the betta in the tank. He's not staying in the globe tank. He's just up here right now. He's going into a community tank. Don't worry. I want to get him a female. So I've been spoiling him in this tank actually, and he had catappa leaves and stuff in there until the other day when I pulled him out and put him in a different tank. Yeah, jungle val is great for a pond. Capped side. I've got a, are you saying that where I live is cool? I hope that's what, I mean, I would be honored if that's what you're saying, because I like where I live. I like my city. The only thing about Seattle today, so I was trying to go to the doctor, and apparently there's a gang war going on in Seattle right now. And they found over 90 shell casings outside of a house like that was shot up. There's been over 20 stabbings and murders in the last 72 hours in the Seattle area. I think like it's actually like 7 murders and the rest are all like other incidents, but regardless, it tied up traffic because they had everything crime scened off on these big roads. And I know that sounds callous, so I'm like, the roads were blocked because someone got hurt. But
it affected everyone.
It affected everyone, and they're probably gang members that were involved, honestly. So, but yes, I love Seattle. I love the view, so I'm glad you enjoy my little territorial balcony view on the 3rd floor that gets 20 degrees hotter than outside here. God, so thank you, sir. Okay. Scotland, Edinburgh, Scotland, a great place. Yeah, my grandfather was from Scotland. He said a lot of stuff that would get me demonetized on here. He would say, you goddamn," and then the C word that Americans really hate. But he would call me a daft, and then the C word as a term of endearment when he was just like half annoyed with us grandkids causing problems. He was a nice old crazy Irish or a Scottish man. But yeah, there was a shooting downtown. Cops with guns ran past you. Oh, Capside, you're in Seattle too? Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing more and more gunshots and stuff in Seattle. It's just the city's getting bigger. It's been a big city for a lot of time, but yeah. Halcyo, how's it going, my friend? Hey Alex, any tip for Tetra disease? Nope. I'm sorry, man. I wish I had one. I've been struggling with that too. It's just one of those things where like I don't know if it's cancer or its own thing or a viral thing, but a lot of times along their spine they'll get that like debris that builds up for a few months and there's no stopping it. I found no way to stop it with any of my meds. I've even tried what do you call it? Dequar, which is like I got some when I was in Florida. It's an industrial level anti-everything, like a drug that's really harsh and it can kill some of the fish, but you can use it on any non-food fish agriculturally. So like tropical fish, but they use it for everything. It's like erythromicron, ICX, gram positive and gram negative furin. It's like all those medications in one, and it still hasn't touched it. I do want to say that I have a bunch more videos to put out of when I was in Florida, when I toured the seagrass farms, when I toured plant farms, more hiking and fish hunting, or gathering, I should say. I didn't keep anything. And then also the crazy invasive lizard problem they have there. They have tegus, like these 3 foot long dragon looking lizards that are just running around town. Head shake. But yeah, yeah. Oh, if you live in the sticks and you hear gunshots all the time, yeah, I definitely have lived out in areas where you can hear that too. So, whatever. Do I make my own tissue cultures? No, I do not. I have in the past, especially of fungi, mushrooms, in canning jars and with a pressure cooker, essentially. Easily contaminated doing it that way, but if you get good at it, you can do it. And a great resource for that would be Paul Stamets at what's his company called again? Mycology.
Which company? He has several companies. His
Paul,
medicinals company is Host.
just
Medicinals?
just the one.
The one's Fungi Perfecti.
Fungi perfecti.
You can kind of get everything.
Yeah, fungi perfecti has, they're overpriced for the pressure cooker and like the sterilization gear. It's like 3 or 4 grand. You can get it for like 2 grand for plant stuff. And plant hormones you're gonna need separately from like what you'd need for fungi. But if you can do fungi, you can definitely do plants. It's easier for most plants, other than like true aquatics that have no landform. Because what you do is you start with an immersed plant. Actually, you know what? Go back and watch my video on what is a tissue culture. I have a 20-minute, very in-depth of what it is, how it's made, that can get the ball rolling on all of that. A lot of people that ask questions on here, no offense whatsoever, I'm not trying to call anyone out, but check out my old videos. I've got 400 of them, and the algorithms won't suggest them because I had 300 views on them. But there's nothing wrong with a lot of those videos. I researched some of those earlier videos like torturously longer than I do now, just because I was so nervous I'd get something wrong while trying to establish credibility. But I can happily say this will be the end note here, and thanks for joining today live, you guys. But I can happily say that this week I will pass the 1 million views mark, and the 7 million minutes watched mark has already been passed. So I'm coming close to 10 million minutes watched, which is just mind blown. So thank you guys so very much. Continue to let people know if something's helpful. Watch the videos that are tutorials and things, and feel free to ask me a question. If I have time to answer, I will. I really love chatting with you guys and these live streams. I'm going to try to do some more in the upcoming days. I have a little bit of time before the solstice event when friends are coming into town. I'm going to be cleaning, organizing, and I need to redo my tanks. As I said, I'm in a funk. I've let algae and things get a little off in my tanks that need fine tuning, and I just have like done nothing for 2 weeks in them. So that's why they look kind of algae ridden and stuff. But if you need to get rid of algae, I've got lots of videos on that. It's not that I can't. I just haven't. And same with the fish that I'm not breeding or am breeding or in the middle of. I just haven't decided what I want to do right now with everything, and I got rid of 2 tanks for my wife due to my wife's wishes, but I will be getting a larger tank and using this tank for something else. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to check out the links, click the likes, and drop any comments if you have any questions. I wish you a beautiful day as well, a beautiful day as Mark is saying. You guys take care of yourselves, take care of those around you, and, hopefully that gives us a community, a net, and, we'll all just keep on swimming together, Thanks, Daryl. I'm glad you had a little fun. I like to get on here and just chat a little bit. Sometimes I'm a bit of a motor mouth and answer less questions and kind of jump around a lot. But that's kind of the point of some of these live streams, is so you guys get to know me if you don't already. Someone just asked for a video on sexing fish. Which one? I mean, there are so many fish, so many kinds that you can sex, but any species video that I've done, pretty much anything on breeding a species, so go look at X, Y, or Z, whatever. I want to breed CPDs or erythromicrons or angelfish. I've done a video talking about how to tell the difference between the sexes, or guppies, endlers. Those are easy ones to start with. I've even done a video on which fish you should start breeding first, and the easiest ones to breed, sex, and get ready to spawn and all that stuff. Also, the salmon are reaching their peak spawn, which is one fish, sadly, so far this year. So depressing. At the locks in Ballard, but apparently some of the other rivers have better runs right now. Specifically, it's 2 salmon that are running right now. We have 5 salmon, 6 if you count kokanee, which are landlocked, or silvers too, which are, yeah. So, but hopefully I'll show you some of that too, and some of the cool evolution stuff that they've done studies on at the local lakes near my house about how armored the fish have become as the lake clarity has returned to what it once was before the pollution. It's very interesting. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Take care. Drop questions in the comment things after this thing reloads, and think about the big picture in the world too. You know, just live with your heart and your mind working hand in hand, and be kind to someone today, and just sit and enjoy your fish. Have a great week. I will talk to you guys